Thank you, Madam Undersecretary. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Natalia Kanem. She's the Undersecretary General, Executive Director of the United Nations Population Fund. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, partners, young people, torchbearers of the new Africa, buenos dias, bon dia, bonjour. I'm delighted to be here, and I congratulate the African Renaissance and Diaspora Network for bringing us together. Africa is open for business, and with the large youth contingent on the continent, we know that investing in the tremendous potential of the young people of Africa is part of keeping that torch lit. The bright flame that we see today represents millions of young women and men who are starting to set the course of countries reaping a demographic dividend of economic growth and prosperity. Africa, indeed, is the fastest growing in terms of both population and emerging economies. This is the result of tangible efforts to invest in the continent's human capital. When we say capacity building, we're talking about equipping the young people of Africa to take their place in leadership, as we already heard from Adama Dieng. Central to this effort is timely investment in the health and education and empowerment and the employment especially of adolescent girls and young women. The African Union itself has decided on this as a decade of the demographic dividend, and the African Union Demographic Dividend Roadmap recognizes the importance of these four pillars: health, education, empowerment, and employment. My message today is a simple one. To have a business-ready Africa, it's all about putting young people first. If we are committed to building their capacity, especially during this Sustainable Development Goals era, and I believe we are, as we should be, it is our responsibility to equip young people with the knowledge and the power to make decisions. The decision about your own body and your health and your life is going to set you on a trajectory of either success or doom. And this absolutely includes correct information about sexual and reproductive health. To me, this is a wide open area for investment, goods and services that relate to the health and well-being, not cosmetic goods, but real health and well-being, including sanitary and hygiene supplies. If you're a country, one of the best investments that you can make is family planning. This is well studied, and The Lancet, one of the most famous medical journals, has already proven that the physical, mental, and sexual health of an adolescent girl, investing in her at the cost of $5 a year, will yield more than 10 times as much in benefits to society. And if you do a whole range with young people, you can actually get a return on investment that's 200 times more, right? So think about a girl in Africa today. And I need my slide. She's standing at the crossroads. So what is going to happen to her? She stays in school. She isn't forced into an early pregnancy. She fulfills her potential, and off she goes. She's the mayor of her town. She's sitting among you as an entrepreneur. It's a path of health and well-being that's going to protect her throughout her life into, hopefully, healthy old age, and it's going to have a ripple effect onto her entire family into the next generation. But if, on the other hand, and it's a litany that you already know, early marriage, dropping out of school, becoming pregnant while you're still a child yourself, and now you've got a cascade throughout life that's jeopardizing her health and well-being, but also that of her family. And it's perpetuating a cycle of intergenerational poverty. Over the past 50 years, I'm happy to say, especially in the last 25 years since Cairo hosted on the continent of Africa the renowned International Conference on Population and Development, UNFPA, working with UN Women and so many others, has been pioneering models for youth leadership and participation because we're entrusting that young people must be equipped to lead. And our youth networks, and Afriyan is in the house, shout out to you, YPeer is in the house, the support and the strengthening that you're doing as NGOs to help other young people come up with solutions and address their needs is encapsulated in the United Nations Youth Strategy, Youth 2030, and in our part of the strategy, which insists that you have to know about your body in order to conduct your life successfully, and that you are part of a world that needs to connect 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So in closing, I will say that when we march to Nairobi on November 12th through 14th, and when President Kenyatta makes his commitment, as so many other heads of state and government will do, towards making sure that universal access to sexual and reproductive health leads to economic success of the continent, he has already informed us he will make 2 commitments, and this is going to be huge. When he stands up there and says that he will commit to ending female genital mutilation in Kenya, every single Kenyan girl is going to know that she has a right to her body integrity. And he tells me that he will also commit to making family planning a line item in the budget. Other leaders will come with their commitments, and you should come with your commitment on the business end. Because to pave the way to the Africa we want by 2030 and by 2063, it is indeed, and I'm echoing my sister Pumzile here, it's going to take all of us, governments, the United Nations system, we have to do our part, but civil society and private business, companies, individuals, we expect you to lead the way, including from the diaspora, and I stand here as a proud Panameña, y mi hermana de Costa Rica me va a seguir in due time. You'll see Epsi Campbell in action. So let us march together, and thank you very much for being here. God bless you.